Sean here from Burnett Dairy Cooperative. We care about your comfort and safety. Regularly checking your propane gauge is critical, and when it reaches 30%, it's time to give us a call at 715-689-1032 to request a fill. Reliable service from your local cooperative. Burnett Dairy, your trusted propane partner. Care about your comfort and safety. Regularly checking your propane gauge is critical.
There's just nothing like being on the water, especially on a pontoon. Pine Toon Rental in Pine City has your next outing. Spend the day on the water in style with this 20-footer that holds up to 9 passengers. Whether you want to fish or just float, take the river, take the lake. But you've got to reserve your pontoon first. Visit pinetoonrental.com. pinetoonrental.com.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome up here to Grand Rapids, where we're getting set for the next round, the semifinal, actually, of Section 7 AA, where your Rush City Tigers are getting set to take on the Proctor Rails here in the section semifinal. The winner will be headed to the championship game, which will take place back here on Thursday. The loser will play right away after this game against the winner of ESCO and International Falls. So that is what is coming up here today for Rush City. Again, they're playing with first pitch coming at around 1 p.m. here in Grand Rapids at their sports complex right next to their elementary school. Nice complex here. Getting set up. The rain has been off and on. As I drove up here, the rain was off and on, pretty heavy. But then I got here, kind of stopped for a little while, but since I've been here, it's been a little bit off and on. So that could play into the field conditions just a little bit, make the ball move a little bit faster, slower than these teams are expecting. But I expect a good one here today. Of course, the top 2 seeds going at it once again. Proctor, the number 1 seed, your Tigers, the number 2 seed. And this is a rematch of the regular season finale for Rush City. They hosted Proctor in that final game of the regular season over in at Schlegel Fields in Rush City. It was a good one, too. Pitchers did a really good job in that one, and the defense really showed out. But then late, 2 runs scored by Proctor was matched by Rush City, but in the 7th inning, it was errors by Rush City that allowed Proctor to score 4 runs, which would unfortunately go unanswered by the Tigers and would give the Rails a 6-2 victory over Rush City. But Rush City certainly got revenge on the mind here in today's game as they look to beat Proctor for the right to go to the section championship game again, which will take place here on Thursday. And that Thursday game will begin at 4 p.m. If they were to lose, though, in this one, they would face off against ESCO or International Falls. Those 2 teams going at it just behind us as those 2 teams defeated their teams. It was ESCO beating Greenway Nashwauk Keewatin to get to their next elimination game, and then I Falls beating Barnum late in that game. I got here as that one was wrapping up, and International Falls was able to beat Barnum late there in that one. So they are starting their game shortly after ours will begin just behind us, as that one is set to begin at about the same time as ours at about 1 p.m. But again, the winner from that I Falls ESCO game will play the loser of our game, Rush City and Proctor. Rush City, again, looking for a little bit of revenge against Proctor as they fell to them at home in their regular season finale. So this is a big one for the Tigers of Rush City, the number 2 seed. A very young squad this year. They do have their veterans and their seniors, but other than that, it's a pretty darn young squad for Rush City, and I am excited to see how this youth will step up here in this one. Up to this point for Rush City in the playoffs, well, they got a bye as the number 2 seed, and they awaited the winner of Mora and Barnum, and it was Barnum getting the victory there, 10-5 over our local team, Barnum. Rush City was able to beat Barnum 6-5, and then after that, they would host the winner of I Falls and Hinckley Finlayson. That wound up being I Falls, and Rush City got the victory there, 7-6. That is how Rush City finds himself in the semifinal. For the number 1 seeded Rails, well, they got the bye as well. They waited at Aiken Mesabi East winner, and it was Aiken getting the victory there, 8-7. Then Proctor would go on to beat Aiken 4-2. Then they would await the winner of Greenway, Nashwauk Keewatin and ESCO, and they got Greenway, and they beat them 7-1. So that is how both of these teams wind up in this semifinal game. The number 1 versus number 2 here in this one. And again, the loser will go and play right away at 3 p.m. as soon as the fields are ready of the winner of the game going on behind us of International Falls and ESCO. And oddly enough, or oddly enough, fun enough, International Falls is the number 3 seed. Esco is the number 5 seed. They beat, again, Greenway, Nashwauk, Keewatin, the number 4 seed. So you have the top 5 teams here. The only team that wasn't here was Hinckley Finlayson. They were the other top 6 team. Barnum just behind them in the 7th spot. So those are the teams that were here today. And those are the teams that are continuing to play as we go along here in this bracket of Section 7 AA playoffs. This game, though, that we're going to be broadcasting, the semifinals of Section 7 AA between Rush City and the Proctor Rails. Again, Rush City had a very good season. Wound up the number 2 seed just below Proctor. And a big reason why was, again, Rush City hosted Proctor in their season finale. And it was a tough loss for the Tigers there in that one. A close one up to the last inning. It was tied 2-2, but the Rails were able to get the runs they needed on some errors there, untimely errors by Rush City. And they certainly have to be looking back at those and saying, hey, if we, could have cleaned that up a little bit, we would have definitely gave ourselves a chance. So they'll be looking to rewrite the script here against Proctor and look to punch their ticket to the championship game. Otherwise, if not, they'll be playing once again right away at 3 p.m. after the fields are readied against the winner of I Falls and Esco. So before we get started, we're going to take a commercial break. We're going to hear a word from our fine sponsors. Then when we come back, we'll be set for the semifinal game against your Rush City Tigers and the Proctor Rails, the number 1 and 2 seeds, going to be going at it here on 106.5 FM, AM 1350, WCMPradio.com.
Welcome to the Summer of Saints. Not those Saints. We're talking about the St. Paul Saints. Listen every Friday morning all summer long. We're sending you and a friend to CHS Field to see the Saints, courtesy of Hinckley Firehouse. Listen to win all summer. The Summer of Saints. Throwing heat all summer long. Thanks to the Hinckley Firehouse and WCMP.
Embrace Orthodontics offers a unique specialized approach to orthodontic treatment with custom braces or Invisalign. The team at Embrace loves getting to know their patients personally and takes the time to make sure all your questions are answered. Their board-certified orthodontists use only the latest in modern technology to give you the best outcome possible. They work with your insurance company and offer flexible financing options to fit your budget. Call today to set up your free exam and see how Embrace Orthodontics can transform your smile. More online at embracemn.com. That's embracemn.com.
Dale's Heating and Appliance, your local heating and appliance expert, is committed to making your family's comfort their top priority. And now you can add water softeners to their list of expertise. Dale's now offers water softener sales or rentals along with installation, service, and salt delivery. So if your home needs quality water, make the call to your already trusted experts at Dale's. Or just visit dalesheatingandappliance.com. dalesheatingandappliance.com.
When aches and pains are interfering with your daily life, Wellia Health wants to help. The sports medicine team at Wellia Health is here to help you get back to the things you love. Wellia Health has a highly skilled sports medicine team with a wide range of experiences. They are also experts in concussion management, a concern for young athletes and adults alike. No matter the injury, get back in the game with an appointment at Wellia Health. Call us today at 320-679-1313 or schedule an appointment through your MyChart account, welliahealth.org.
Back here on WCMP 106.5 FM, AM 1350, your Tigers getting set to take on the Proctor Rails in this section semifinal game of 7AA. Taking a look at other games going on today, a bunch of our local teams playing today, including the Rush City Tigers baseball team, who are getting set to play up at over in Proctor. They will play against Hinckley Finlayson, and then if they were to win, they would play against the winner of Proctor or Crosby Ironton. Same for Hinckley Finlayson. So we got a couple of our local teams playing here today, and it should be a fun one. Those are not the only teams playing today. Princeton going to be playing today, along with Ogilvie, Mille Lacs, Bram. Ton of our local teams are going to be playing baseball playoffs as well. Rush City playing today in softball. Cambridge Isani, unfortunately for one of our local softball teams, fell on Saturday in the elimination bracket, so that would end their season. And as of this point, Rush City is the only softball team alive for us in our local listening area, so they're the last hope, so to speak, but they are in a great setup for a great game in the semifinals. This would have been a great champion, and it still could be a championship matchup. these two teams could still face off in that game, but they're going to face off in the semifinal. The number 1 and 2 seed's going to be going at it, and I am excited. Should be a great one here as we get set for first pitch here in the Section 7AA semifinal. Our starting lineup's getting announced now, and then once that is done, the Rails will take the field as the number 1 seed. They'll be the home team here today. And then after that, we will come back. We'll get our lineups here for both these squads, and then we'll be set for first pitch here in Grand Rapids. Take another commercial break. Back on WCMP.
I love this weather. I could sit here all day long. I don't think anything can make it better.
Well, friend, this week get a 2-night stay at Ringler's Family Campground for only $40. Make memories and enjoy the outdoors.
How long have you been there?
I'm always here, friend. Always here.
That's a little creepy.
WCMPradio.com/deals. Save money on all kinds of cool stuff. WCMPradio.com/deals.
WCMP Sports, local sports.
Past the 25, to the 20, to the 15. He's going to high step into the end zone. Touchdown!
Slips one, slips a second, able to get away for Sluka. Back underneath, far side, and a goal! To the lane and just gets the roll. Wow.
Pine City, Mora, Hinkley Finlayson, East Central, Branham, Rush City, Malacca, North Branch. Find out who's playing next at WCMPradio.com.
Interested in raising funds for your school or organization? Burnett Dairy Cooperative is now participating in cheese fundraisers. Raise funds by selling cheese to your friends and family and supporting our local farmers. Please call us at 715-689-2053 to find out more.
A Lennox air source heat pump is a high-efficiency air conditioning unit that can also heat your home or business during the spring and fall. It's more economical than heating with propane. Have Dale's Heating and Appliance install your Lennox air source heat pump. Ask Dale's how you can receive up to $1,000 in rebates for your air source heat pump system. And ductless mini splits also qualify for up to $1,000. Visit dalesheatingandappliance.com. Conditions apply. See dealer for details.
Back here on WCMP, Ethan Game Day Gilman joining you for this Section 7AA semifinal matchup between the number 1 seeded Proctor Rails and your number 2 seeded Rush City Tigers. It's a rematch of the Tigers' regular season finale as they hosted the Rails and fell in late in that one due to some errors on their side of things, but they'll look to change that narrative here in this one. Winner goes to the championship game. The loser will play the winner of the game going on behind us, I Falls and Esco. So there's a chance that Rush City plays again, or Proctor. But the championship game will be right back here on Thursday. And we're hoping to be back here for that one if the Tigers make it. And that'll be at 4 p.m. So here we go. First pitch coming out. Leading off for the Tigers, Annabelle Hansen. The pitcher for the Rails is Brooklyn Patterson, and the first one is high for ball 1. First pitch coming out at 1:03. So 1 ball, no strikes to Annabelle Hansen, the leadoff batter for the Tigers. They switched that up about late in the season. It was Natalie Rude leading off, but then they decided to go with the veteran senior Annabelle Hansen. Natalie Rude didn't move far. She went right down to number 2. So that is, will be up right after Hansen as Patterson has a 1-1 count for Hansen. That one's outside for ball 2. 2-1 count for Annabelle Hansen, the catcher for the Rush City Tigers. Patterson winds up with the 2-1. Hansen got a piece of it, fouls it back into the fence. That'll leave her count at 2 balls, 2 strikes. So a 2-2 for the leadoff batter, Hansen. Patterson readies, and here's the pitch. Hansen got a piece of that one. Patterson took a little bit off that one, and Hansen saw it, but still just a tad out in front. And the count will remain 2-2. Another 2-2 pitch on the way from Patterson. Hansen Gives this one a ride, but it's going to be popped up right at the first baseman, and she grabs it and holds on for out number 1. Defensively for the Rails, Patterson, as we mentioned, in the circle. Then behind the plate catching, Annika Burke. Over at first, Sammy Shelton. Then over at second, Sydney Adamski. At third, it'll be Grace Abbott. And at short, it will be Reagan Rodberg. Now up to the plate, as we mentioned, that is Natalie Rude for the Tigers, playing over at short. She sees strike 1. 0-1 count for her. Patterson readies, and here's the pitch. Rude gives this one a ride into the fence for a foul, and it'll be an 0-2 count for her. Continuing with the defense for Proctor. In the outfield, left field will be Emma Shelton. Out in center, it'll be KK Hemming, and then in right, it'll be Lillian Hart. Lily-Ann Hart. 0-2 count for Rude. Well, now she'll have to protect early here in the top of the first, and that one softly hit to the second baseman, and an easy grab for out number 2. 2 up, 2 down for Rush City. And now to the plate, Kendall Pillar. And she is a dangerous runner on the base paths. Very smart batter as well. One of those younger players for Rush City. And that youth this year for Rush has stepped up in a big way right behind those senior veteran players. Pillar swinging at one low in the zone for strike 1. Saw it, but would have been low. 0-1 count for Pillar. Next one for Patterson. That one swung on and given right out of play. Into the field just adjacent to us. 0-2. Pillar readies, and here's the Patterson pitch. That one in the dirt, and Pillar holds off on that one. One-two count now for Pillar. And Patterson with the pitch. Outside, well outside for ball 2. That'll even the count for Pillar. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down, and nobody on. Patterson with the 2-2. Pillar swings and misses, and that'll be out number 3. 3 up, 3 down, go the Tigers, and we'll move to the bottom of the first, where the Rails will have their turn at the plate. Tigers will have their turn in the field. And getting set to take the field out of the Tigers. This is the way they'll line up on defense. Of course, Kendall Pillar will be in the pitcher circle. And behind the plate catching for her, of course, again, Annabelle Hansen. Over at first, it's going to be Summer Nelson. Then at second, Adriana Schroeder. Over, looks like at fifth is going to, or third, excuse me, is Kaylin Galena. Then at short, it's Natalie Rude. And in the field, taking a look, it'll be Maria Biermeyer out in left. She usually plays third, but today she'll be out in left. Then the center fielder will be Peyton Addix, and the right fielder, Lola Mold. Lola Mold has proved to be a key player out there in right. She's made some big plays, some big throws as well out there in right. So a little bit of a switch in the defensive lineup for the Tigers. Getting, as they ready, it's Kaylin Glenna at third and Biermeyer out in left. And those are the changes here for this one. Biermeyer will be the flex. Designated player is Addison Antonsen. So the Tigers trying to keep the Rails off the board. It was a fun one in that first game down in Rush City. A great game, and I thought it would be, and it turned out to be that way. The Tigers looking for a different outcome here in this one, as they look for the win here in this one. And it was a 6-2 loss the last time these two teams played for the Tigers. They win, they're in the championship game. Lose, they'll play the winner of the game going on behind us between I Falls and Esco. Leading off for the Proctor Rails will be Brooklyn Patterson. So pitcher versus pitcher duel. I don't know why. I'm always just intrigued by the pitcher versus pitcher matchups. Pillar with the windup. Here's the pitch. First one is in there for strike one. Good chunk of Tiger fans make their way up to Grand Rapids here today. About a 2-hour drive. 2 hour, 10, 15, depends on the way you take from Rush City. And a punt run trying to be put on by Patterson. She misses, and now it's an 0-2 count for the leadoff batter for the Rails. Got a time call here by the ump, and you can only have one batter out there warming up. That's why we had the pause, but now we're back in 0-2 count for Patterson. That one's going to be high from Pillar. And now a 1-2 count for Patterson. Pillar and Hansen wait to get the pitch call from the dugout. And Pillar readies. Patterson back in the box. Here's the pitch from Pillar. Swung on and missed for out number 1. So a good start for Pillar. And now Sammy Shelton to the plate for the Rails. Pillar gets set. And here's the first pitch to Shelton. Outside for ball 1. 1-0 count for the first baseman here today. Here's the 1-0 from Pillar. That one's on the outside part of the plate for strike 1. Just catching a piece of that edge of the plate. Now a 1-1 count for Shelton. And here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. That'll make it a 1-2 count now. 1-2 for Shelton. Pillar with the 1-2. That one's gonna, I think it might have slipped out of her hand there. That one kind of rolled nearly the entire distance to the plate. That'll leave the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Pillar readies with the 2-2 pitch. That one swung on and lifted out of play. And again into the field. Just to our side. Get a new ball back in here for Pillar, and we'll again start with it with a 2-2 count. That one going to be fouled off and out of play as well. Time call here by Sammy Shelton. She's going to step out of the box for a moment. Just kind of rethink her spot in the at-bat here. 2-2 count, 1 down. Pillar readies. Here's the pitch. That one is, took a little something off that one. Shelton just got enough of it to keep herself alive in the at-bat. Well out in front of it, but she kind of slowed up her swing just enough at the end there to get a piece of it. Keep the count 2-2. Pillar with the pitch. And she'll get her swinging and missing on that one for out number 2. So 2 up, 2 down for the Rails. Now Annika Burke stepping to the plate for the Rails in that number 3 spot. Position-wise, she's number 2 as the catcher, but in the number 3 batter spot. Here's the first pitch to her. That one is swung on and lifted out of play. Ooh. And does not hit any fans of the game behind us, luckily. Almost went into their field, though. So no 1 count now for Burke. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss, and Pillar. Good start to the at bat. It's now an 0-2 count for Annika Burke. Next one is swung on and missed, laid on it, and that will be it for the first inning of play as Pillar will strike out the side. So we will move forward to inning number 2. No hits, no runs, no errors by either side. And we'll move to the bottom, or the top rather, of the second inning. No score here in this one. Both the pitchers once again getting off to a hot start. And we'll see how long that can continue. Defenses, just like last game, were a big, big reason why there was no score until late in, and we'll see if that happens once again here in this one. But we'll be back after a word from our fine sponsors here on WCMP.
24/7, 365. We've got what you need at the Pine City Freeway Holiday Station Store. You probably know your Pine City Holiday Station Store off 35 is easy to find, very clean, the staff is always friendly, and is open 24/7, 365. But did you know we do propane fills, have a brand new EV charging station, and a dog walking area? So if you need a hot cup of coffee, the tank topped off, or a jug of milk on the way home, we got what you need at the Freeway Holiday Station Store in Pine City.
Arrowhead Transit plays a pivotal role in bolstering the communities it serves. By providing accessible and reliable transportation, they ensure essential travel for work, education, and healthcare. Arrowhead Transit is customer-centric, continuously evolving to meet the needs of the community with initiatives like community outreach programs, job fairs, and educational workshops and more. Arrowhead Transit is more than just a transportation service. It is a vital part of the communities it supports. Your connection, your community. Arrowhead Transit. Your ride.
Back here on WCMP 106.5 FM, AM 1350. This won't be the only game we're calling this week. It's going to be a week full of playoff games. I think we got some tomorrow, then Thursday once again. Not sure about Friday or Saturday. I think Friday. I'll have to look. There's so with softball and baseball playoffs crossing over, it's just so hard to remember it all. But you can bet as long as there's playoffs and as long as we have one of our local teams playing, we'll be there to call those games. Well, I will anyways. I tried to do it. I could clone myself about 5 different times. We'd have about 30 different games going, but that's not possible right now. Lola Mold will lead off in the top of the second for the Tigers. First pitch to her. Ooh, she held up. And she lays off for ball 1. Good eye there by Lola Mold. So a 1-0 count to begin the at-bat. Patterson with the next one. That's in there for strike 1. Good movement on that pitch from Patterson. Got Mold a little bit. Mold thought that was going to stay up in the zone. It wound up just getting inside. Here's the 1-1 pitch to her, and she swings through that one for strike 2. Just underneath that one, if she levels out her swing, she probably winds up getting a base hit there, but just underneath it. And a 1-2 count now for Lola Mold. And here's the 1-2, and she lays off that one for ball 2. Even 2-2 count for the leadoff batter Lola Mold, playing over in right field today. And here's the pitch from Patterson. That one's in there just at the knees, and it'll get her looking for out number 1. Tough one for Mold there. That'll be the first out of inning number 2. And now coming to the plate, Kaylin Glenna to the plate. Again, Maria Biermeyer not at third today. She will be out in left, and Glenna gives this one a ride down the first base line towards her first base coach, but he jumps out of the way. So after that foul ball, it'll be an 0-1 count now for Glenna. Patterson readies. And here's the pitch. And that one going to be knocked out of play by Glenna, so an 0-2 count. Not an ideal spot to be if you're Glenna here with Patterson in the circle. 0-2, nobody on, 1 down. And Glenna will give this one a ride. That one was well low in the zone, but just keeping herself alive. That one goes foul, and she'll come back to the batter's box to do it again with an 0-2 count. Coming up after her will be Summer Nelson. Glenna's got some power to that swing, and we've seen it come alive, and she's trying to get herself on base for the first base runner of the game. She's going to lift that one foul as well, again low in the zone. Just trying to keep herself on. Sometimes you get a batter like this for Rush City who's aggressive, and you can wear down the pitcher a little bit, and she'll give you one more towards the middle of the plate, and then you can get on base by crushing it. So we'll see who will win this battle here as it's officially turned into an 0-2 count for Glenna. Patterson with the pitch. And Glenna will pop this one up for the catcher. And she holds on for out number 2. So Rails will win that battle in that at-bat. And now coming to the plate, Summer Nelson. Two up, two down for the Tigers. Nelson at the plate, trying to change that up here. Get the first base runner on in the game. Late swing on that one. It's one she liked, but late on it for strike one. 0-1 count. Patterson with the pitch. And give this one a ride. Summer Nelson, but that hangs in the air. Straightaway center, and it's caught for out number 3. 3 up, 3 down for the Tigers in the second consecutive inning to open up the game. And next we'll see again the Rails come to the plate. No errors by the Rails. And we'll move forward now to the bottom of the inning. Well, the Tigers will go back out on defense and try and get out of the inning once again without allowing a base runner or a run. Over in the game behind us between I Falls and Esco. Looks like could be bottom of the first. No score in that game. Esco is in the field now. I gotta imagine it's bottom because I Falls is the higher seed, so would assume that that's the bottom of the first. Here in our game, no score still. Bottom of the second as we move forward in this Section 7 AA semifinal game. Clouds have been in and out. The rain has been off and on. The wind has been up and down. And I'm sure it will stay that way. Up here in Grand Rapids, Minnesota. Getting set to begin the bottom of the second, and leading off for the Rails is going to be KK Hemming. A few warm-up swings in there, and now into the batter's box. Pillar with the first pitch. That one's outside for ball 1. One 0 count now to Hemming. And Pillar with the pitch. That one's high for ball 2. 2-0 count to begin the at-bat for KK Hemming, the center fielder for the Rails today. And here's the 2-0. In there on the outside part of the plate for strike 1 from Pillar. And Pillar late in the season, she was really able to kind of paint the edges of the strike zone and trying to find those here again. Here's the 2-1, swung on and missed by Hemming. And that'll even the count 2-2 as rain starts to trying to come down once again. Don't worry, I came prepared. I brought my jacket. Keep everything safe. This one's inside. And that'll run the count full now for Hemming. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Pillar readies. And here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. The rising fastball for out number 1. Now to the plate for the Rails, Emma Shelton. Into the batter's box, Pillar with the pitch. That one's in there on the outside part for strike 1. Oh, 1 for Emma Shelton. Here's the pitch from Pillar. Swing, and I might have got a piece that one. 0-2 count. Pillar. Readies, and here's the 0-2. That one's going to be fouled off out of play. So the count will stay 0-2 for the left fielder. Here's the 0-2 pitch from Pillar. That one's in the dirt for ball one. 1-2 count now for Emma Shelton. No Pillar gets the pitch call, and here it is. Foul tip for out number 2. And now to the plate, Grace Abbott for the Rails. Two down here in the bottom of the second. No score in this semifinal game. Pillar with the pitch. That one's swung on and missed. A foul tip. Oh, 1 count for Abbott. Pillar with the pitch. In there on the outside part of the plate for strike 2. And an 0-2 now for Abbott as Pillar trying to help her team out of this inning once again. Pillar with the pitch. Swing and a miss. And that will end inning number 2. 3 up, 3 down for both sides here in the second. As we will now move forward to the third inning of play. No score, no base runners even. And we will move forward to the third. But first, before the third, we'll get a word from our fine sponsors here on WCMP in this semifinal matchup between the Rails and the Tigers.
At Wellia Health, our goal is to help you live life well at every age and every stage. If you've been busy taking care of everything else but neglecting your own personal health, don't let another year go by without making yourself a priority. Get an annual checkup. Please schedule an appointment at Wellia Health today. Call us at 320-679-1313 or welliahealth.org.
Untangling your headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with Auto Owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Visit Town & Country Insurance today at townandcountry-ins.com or stop in our offices in Finlayson, Hinckley, and Mora.
Back here on WCMP 106.5 FM, AM 1350. Getting set to lead off for your Tigers will be number 9, Peyton Addix. And Addix has been a key base runner when she's able to get on, and she shows bunt, pulls back, and does so in time for ball 1. Rain starting to pick up just a little bit here. Wind trying to blow out this next rain cloud as the next pitch here to Addix is low for ball 2. So 2-0 now for Peyton Addix. She'll show bunt again on the 2-0. Pulls back. That one's going to be high for ball 3. So Peyton Addix leading off the third for the Tigers. Currently with a 3-0 count, showing bunt once again. And she'll pull back. That's a ball 4. So leadoff walk for Peyton Addix. And now that'll bring to the plate Addison Antonsen. She'll step into the left-handed batter's box. Runner on first, nobody out for the Tigers. We have our first base runner of the game. This one going to be low. The throw down definitely got her. And that's going to be out number 1. So I don't know if Addix just got a bad jump Or if she just, that was not ideal. If you're the Tigers, that'll be out number 1. So you get your base runner on, and then unfortunately, next pitch, she's thrown out. I think just a bad jump there by Addix, and that'll erase the threat at first. So Antonsen swings and misses on that one. It's the ump in the mask. He's okay. But it'll be a 1-1 count for Antonsen now. One down for the Tigers. Patterson with the pitch. And they're on the outside part of the plate for strike 2. Now a 1-2 count for Antonsen. Top of the third, 1 down. Antonsen trying to be the next base runner. That one's low. And it will even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes for Antonsen. Again, Addix reached first, but unfortunately was thrown out trying to steal. I think she just got a late jump on her steal attempt. This one was hit right to the second baseman, and she could not hold on. And Antonsen will reach via the error at second. So what should have been a for sure out will be an error. And now Adriana Schroeder will come to the plate with a runner on and only 1 down. So Schroeder to the plate now. Antonsen on first. 1 down here in the top of the third. The Tigers get their second base runner on here, as Antonsen reached on the error. Second baseman. A lot of times you can get too much time to look a ball in, and that could have been the case there. Oh, that one's going to get well past the catcher. And Antonsen easily into second. A wild pitch will lead to that steal there for Antonsen. So 1 down, runner on second. Adriana Schroeder at the plate. And now it does appear we will get the courtesy runner here for Antonsen. So that is what head coach Kayla Jeska for the Tigers will be doing. Antonsen will get a pinch runner here as Antonsen is at second. And taking a look in for her at second, Hannah Mechtel. Mechtel provides some speed there as well, so Mechtel will come in and be the pinch runner here at second. 1 down for the Tigers, runner at second for Adriana Schroeder. First pitch to Schroeder, she swings and fouls this one over the Tiger dugout. A 1-1 count for, or 1-1 count for Schroeder. First pitch to her was a wild pitch that led to Antonsen taking second. So 1-1 now for Schroeder. Swing and a miss late on that one. And now a 1-2 count for Adriana Schroeder. Runner at second, 1 down. And here's the 1-2. That one's high. And Mechtel will have to stay at second. Good job there by the catcher for Proctor, leaping out of her stance to make sure that one stays in front. Mechtel at second. Schroeder with a 2-2 count now. Here's the pitch from Patterson. And that one will be fouled off, out of play by Schroeder. So it will remain a 2-2 count for Adriana Schroeder here in the top of the third. Patterson readies. Here's the pitch. And swing and a miss by Schroeder. Low in the zone on that one and got her to swing for out number 2. 2 down, runner on second. Annabelle Hansen now to the plate for the Tigers. Runner on in scoring position. And they are going to try and get her to score first. And Hansen giving that one a ride right back to the pitcher, and an easy throw on to first for out number 3. Hansen looking for that big swing, but she hits it right back to the pitcher, and she throws it on to first for out number 3. So no runs, no hits. And the error there by the Rails in the third provided them a base runner, and it was Addix who was the first base runner there for the Tigers via walk, and then she got a late jump as she tried to take second, so she was thrown out there for out number 1, and then it was Antonsen who got a hit, but the second baseman dropped it, so she reached via the error, and then they were able to take second via the wild pitch, and that was all they could do here in the top of the third. Now their defense has to step up and hold Proctor off the base paths. So we move to the bottom of the third inning. No score here. Bottom of the third. Tigers and Rails going at it in the section semifinal. Bottom of the third, leading off for the Rails will be Sydney Adamski. So Adamski will lead off, and bottom of the third, quickly getting a ball in from the infield or outfield, one of the two. Either way, getting it out of play. And here's the pitch from Pillar, outside for ball 1. So we want to account for Adamski. Pillar with the pitch. That one's in there on the outside part for strike 1. And Pillar has done a really good job this year, especially late in the season, of finding those edges and really commanding them. And now a 1-1 count for Adamski. Pillar with the pitch. Swing and a miss there by Adamski, and going to make it a 1-2 count. Works back into the box, and Pillar readies. Here's the pitch. And that one swung on and missed by Adamski for out number 1. So 1 down here to begin the bottom of the third. Lillian Hart now to the plate for the Rails. Pillar with the pitch outside for ball 1. Hansen did a really good job trying to frame that one, but that one was off the plate. Hansen, the veteran catcher for the Tigers. The Pillar, the younger. And looks like Hansen going to call time here for her and Pillar. So Lillian Hart at the plate. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. For strike 1. 0-1 count, and here's the pitch from Pillar. Showing bunt in there for strike 2. 0-2 count now for Lillian Hart. One-two, excuse me. Pillar readies, and here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. And that'll be out number 2. 2 up, 2 down for the Rails, and the Tigers in control here. Reagan Rodberg to the plate. Pillar readies, and here's the pitch. Swing and a miss by Rodberg for strike 1. Tigers feel she is a bunt threat, and she's got a lot of speed as well. So they are in just a tad. and I mean just a tad. Now she will show bunt. She will bunt. Third baseman's there. Glenna throw on to first is in time for out number 3. So smart play there by Glenna. And that will be it for the third inning of play. No hits, no runs, no errors by the Tigers. And we move forward as we will go to the top of the 4th when we return here. Ethan Game Day Gilman up here in Grand Rapids for the Section 7 AA semifinal matchup between your Rush City Tigers and the Proctor Rails, a rematch of the Tigers regular season finale at home here on WCMP.
There's just nothing like being on the water, especially on a pontoon. Pine-Tune Rental in Pine City has your next outing. Spend the day on the water. Cruise between Cross Lake and Pekegama Lake. Over 20 miles of shoreline with several stops along the way. And start creating memories that'll last a lifetime. But you've got to reserve your pontoon first. Visit PineTuneRental.com. PineTuneRental.com.
I love this weather. I could sit here all day long. I don't think anything can make it better.
Well, friend, this week, get a gift certificate for 18 holes of golf and a cart at Stone's Throw Golf Course in Malacca for just $25.
How long have you been there?
I'm always here, friend. Always here.
That's a little creepy.
WCMPradio.com/deals. Save money on all kinds of cool stuff. WCMPradio.com/deals.
Yeah, be sure to check that out. Every day we have deals on tons of local businesses. Natalie Rude will lead off. That one's hit well down the left field line, but that's going to go foul. And a long shot there by Rude, but it will wind up extending foul down that left field line. And Rude will come back and try to do it again as we get another rain cloud hopping in here. Trying to give us some rain. Thankfully, it hasn't been anything super heavy. I'm sure we might get a downpour now as the announcers jinx. And the next one in here to Rude is going to be in there for strike 2. So Rude now trying to protect 0-2 here to begin the 4th inning. And reaching on one well outside. And she will strike out as out number 1. And now to the plate, Kendall Pillar. Here's the first pitch to her. Swing and a miss. Big swing and a miss there by Pillar. Here's the 0-1 from Patterson. Pillar misses on the swing, and it'll make it 0-2 now. Oh, 2 count for Pillar. Here's the pitch. Pillar gets a piece of that one right over. No, she caught it. Great leaping grab there by the second baseman to grab it for out number 2. That was a tough one. But the second baseman holds on for out number 2. And now coming to the plate, Lola Mold. 2 down and nobody on. Ooh, now, just as I say, we haven't had anything heavy. Here it comes. This one's going to be a little bit heavier. Swing and missing on the first one is Mold. 0-1 count now for. Here's the pitch. She gets a piece of that one, popped up towards the third, and it's grabbed for out number 3. So another 1-2-3 inning as that one popped up at 5th for the 3rd out. And we'll move to the bottom of the 4th when we come back here on WCMP. Actually, we'll keep it right here because I'm struggling to get the papers all set because the wind's starting to pick up here. I think it's blown in, maybe a little bit of a front. We're blowing it out, one of the two. But either way, we're getting some rain as we will keep it here on WCMP. Put up the collar, protect the back of the neck. It's a little chilly. Here in our game, though, we'll move to the bottom of the 4th. The Tigers and Rails tied at no score here in this Section 7 AA semifinal game. Tigers looking for some revenge against the Rails, trying to punch their ticket to the section championship game, which will take place here on Thursday. And if that does occur for the Tigers, we would be back here for that game. So be sure to stay tuned to WCMP. We'll keep you updated on all of that. As that wind definitely blowing in, a little bit more of a bigger system here. Hopefully we don't have any stoppage in the play. As a swing and a miss there by the pitcher for the Rails, Patterson, making it a 0-1 count. And that one going to be in there for strike 2. So 0-2 count now for Patterson. As again, the rain really picking up now. Trying to keep the equipment as dry as I can, but might. Ooh, now it's really coming down. And they're going to call the game for just a moment anyways. So they are going to call the game for now. And while they do that, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to pause as well. So we will take a longer commercial break here, wait for hopefully this rain to go by, and we'll be back.
Hi, this is Sarah from Burnett Dairy Cooperative. Do you know about our propane customer referral program? It's simple and rewarding. Refer a qualified new Burnett Dairy propane customer and you'll receive a $100 credit to your account. Terms and conditions apply. Call 715-689-1032 for details and follow our Burnett Dairy General Store Facebook page. Share the warmth with Burnett Dairy, your trusted propane partner.
Your journey to smile with your forever starts at Embrace Orthodontics. The team at Embrace.
So with the rain picking up, we protect the equipment. A 2-0 lead here for the Rails. But again, we've got a system coming in from the north. Next one's outside as well. A little bit more rain, it looks like, and then we should be clear. Hopefully, maybe not. Looks like we still got another heavier system coming through. And we'll see what we can do here. If we will be able to finish off this one. Another ball here for Glenna. So 2-0 lead for the Rails here in the top of the 5th. And a base hit there for Glenna. As she gets a runner on base for Rush City. So runner on first. Nobody down for the Tigers. It'll be a pinch runner here for Glenna. And it will be Ashlyn Simmons, the pinch runner for the leadoff batter, Kaylin Glenna. This one is swung on and fouled back out of play by Summer Nelson. 0-1 now for Nelson. Top of the 5th, 2-0 score. Rails lead here in this Section 7AA semifinal matchup. That one's going to be inside for Nelson for ball 1. 1-1 count for Nelson. Swing and a miss on that one outside for strike 2. 1-2 count. And here's the pitch. Nelson will get a piece of that one It's up and caught by the first baseman. And the pinch runner at first gets back to avoid the double play, so 1 down. Now for the Tigers. And Peyton Addix will come to the plate. Runner on first, 1 down here in the top of the 5th. If Tigers lose this one, they would play again here at, whenever the field's ready. This one bunted foul by Addix. Fields are certainly messy right now. And I think if we were to get any more rain, they might, I hate to say they'd call it, but man, the fields I'm getting to the point where they're in no condition to be played on. 1-1 count now for Addix. 1 down and a runner at first, top of the 5th. They trail 2-0 on that Brace Orthodontics scoreboard. And Addix, good eye there. That one will stay high in the zone for ball 2. 2-1 count for Addix. Runner at first. Here's the pitch from Patterson, and just got a piece of it. Lays it down. Patterson's on it, and throw on to first is going to get her. Ooh. Oh, they're going to safe at first. They're going to argue it. Well, the Rails. And so, hold on. I don't know what's going on. 2 down. So she will be out, I guess. I don't know. Antonsen at the plate now. Gives a swing right to the first baseman. And she'll step on the bag for out number 3. So the Tigers get another runner on. And we'll head to the bottom of the 5th with the Tigers trailing 2-0 on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. Even though there is no time limit to games, Tigers are running out of it. Here as we are in the bottom of the 5th. They'll have the top of the 6th and 7th to try and get those 2 runs back and take a lead and try to add on to said lead if they can get it. Rails again, the number 1 seed, Rush City number 2 seed. Winner moves on to the section championship game back here on Thursday. Loser will play right away as soon as both these games are done. Behind us is the elimination bracket game between I Falls and Esco, and it looks like we'll head to the bottom of the 5th. No score, it looks like, in that one. That is a good game. That's the number 3 versus 5 teams going at it. Bottom of the 5th here in our game. Hansen and Pilly look to the coaches for the call. Grace Abbott to the plate now for the Rails. Here's the pitch to her. Swung on and hit right to the second baseman. Throw on to first and plenty of time for out number 1. 1 up, 1 down on 1 pitch for the Tigers. Adamski to the plate for the Rails. And here's the pitch to her outside, a little bit high for ball 1. And here's the 1-0, and it's in there for strike 1. The 1-1 is low and inside for ball 2. 2-1 for Adamski. Tigers Pillar going to ask for a new ball. Rain coming down once again, and we get a new clean ball. That'll stay clean for about a couple pitches. That one's low, and that'll move the count 3-1 for Adamski of the Rails. Bottom of the 5th, 1 down for the Rails, 3-1 count for Adamski. Tigers trail 2-0. That one's in there, and that'll run the count full for Adamski. in between games here. I'm probably going to have to run and get my other coat just so we can keep the equipment dry. And that one swung on and fouled back. So it'll be a full count for Adamski. One down. And here's the pitch in there for strike 3, and it'll get her looking for out number 2. 2 down, nobody on for the Rails. And Lillian Hart to the plate now for Proctor. Here's the pitch from Pillar, showing bunt. A good bunt laid down. Pillar throw on to first. Got her in time for out number 3. So we'll move forward in this one to the top of the 6th inning. Tigers trail 2-0 on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. As again, they have the top of the 6th and 7th to try and get those runs back and get a lead. And the Tigers, they need something going. They've gotten some base runners, but again, have not been able to get those runners on to cross the plate. Again, the infield here, if there are any ground balls, they are going to be slow, as this infield is messy. And rain continuing to fall. Stopped for just a moment, but looks like we've got some more rain coming in behind us. Looked at the radar, got a couple more rounds of rain, it looked like, before today's games would end. Adriana Schroeder will lead off for the Rush City Tigers. Again, Tigers need 2 if they want to get back into this one. Schroeder going to be first pitch swing in down the third base line, and it's caught for out number 1, and that is what you don't need if you're Rush City. 1 pitch, 1 out. Need to make this pitcher work a little bit more if you're the Tigers. Get her to give you something over the plate. Got a battle up there if you're Rush City. 1 down. Annabelle Hansen now to the plate. We'll switch it over to the top of the order for Rush City. Annabelle Hansen watches that one outside for ball 1. The 1-0 pitch on the way. Low for ball 2. So 2-0 count for Annabelle Hansen. 1 down, and here's the pitch. That one's low as well for ball 3. Hansen being patient up there, and again, Tigers really need to start working the count a little bit. See if they can't get something going their way. Here's the pitch. Hansen. 3-0, you usually see batters lay off, and she will there. Hansen with a 3-1. And Patterson with the pitch. And that will be a walk. So Hansen will move down to first. So a runner on now. 1 down. Quick sub here. We'll get a courtesy runner over at first. And it will be Kenzie Simmons over there at first for Hansen. And as we get that on the sheet for the ump, Rude gets a moment. And Rude readies. And she'll step into the batter's box. 1 down, runner on first. They trail by 2. First pitch is outside for ball 1 to Natalie Rude. If you're joining us here on WCMP, thanks so much for joining us. It's been a bit of a crazy game. Rain We've been seeing it off and on, but it finally delayed us there as it came down pretty heavy. But we're back to it now, and looks like we got another system coming in. Hopefully it leans away from us. And a first strike here to Rude. One count. Here's the pitch from Patterson. Inside for ball 2. Two one count for Rude. Here's the pitch, and it's high. And the courtesy runner back safely. And Simmons getting some words of advice from her first base coach. Top of the 6th, 3-1 count for Natalie Rude. 1 down, runner on first. Tigers trail 2-0 here in the section semifinal game. Here's the pitch from Patterson. Rude will foul this one off, and that will push the count full for Rude. Full count for Natalie Rude, and here's the pitch. She gets that one foul down the third base line. So as I try to update the scoreboard here, best I can, again, still trying to protect the equipment from getting wet. So Rude with a full count once again. Runner on first, 1 down. Here's the pitch from Patterson. Swings and misses. Trout number 2. And not what the Tigers need here in this spot, as Kendall Pillar will come to the plate. She's hit a 2-run shot this year over right field, and man, could they use that right now. That would immediately tie up the game, but 2 down now for the Tigers, as just as I try to get the equipment peeked through the shield for the rain, starts to pick back up again. Seems to be my luck. That one's going to fly out to right for Pillar, and that'll be it for the top of the 6th. And Tigers are running out of time here. It is the bottom of the 6th. They'll have the top of the 7th to try and get 2 if they can hold the rails off the board here in the bottom of the 6th. Game behind us. Looks like top of the 5th, maybe the top of the 6th. And that one, still no score over there. Looks like top, I can't see if that's a 6 or 5. Well, maybe top of the 6th over there behind us in the Esco I-Falls game. No score in that one. But if the score stays the way it is, Rush City would play the winner of that game of I-Falls and Esco. But that's if the score stays. Looks like we will get a new pitcher here for the Tigers. Maybe? No. No. Okay, we're good. Adriana Schroeder was in the circle with the mask on. Pillar didn't quite have her mask on yet, so I was wondering if maybe we had a new pitcher for the Tigers, but that's not the case. Pillar will probably go the distance here. It's Rodberg to the plate now for the Rails. That one's in there low the knees for ball 1. This system may be going south of us, thankfully, and that would be huge as Rodberg swings and fouls that one back. Oh, a 1-1 count now for Rodberg. Here's the 1-1 showing bunt, and that's under her bat for strike 2. So under the bat for strike 2, 1-2 count now for Rodberg as a leadoff batter in the bottom of the 6th. Pillar and Hansen will get the pitch call from the dugout. And here's the pitch, swing and a miss. That should... Was it? Yeah, it is out number 1. So 1 down for the Rails. Patterson now to the plate. Pillar with the pitch. That one's in the dirt, too, and it takes a wild bounce over both catcher and ump. So 1-0 count for Patterson. 1 down. Tigers, Pillar with the pitch. That's in there for strike 1. 1-1 count for Patterson. Pillar has still had a pretty good game. Those 2 runs have come, but still a pretty good game for Pillar. Here's the pitch, 1-1. That one swung on and hit out towards right field. That's Lola Mold out there, and not much going to get by her as she reels it in on the back pedal once again for out number 2. 2 up, 2 down. 2 up, 2 down for the Rails. Sammy Shelton now to the plate. So 2 down, bottom of the 6th, 2-0. The Rails lead on that Brace Orthodontic scoreboard. Tigers need all the outs they can get, and then they need all the help they can get in the top of the 7th. First pitch there to Shelton is in there for strike 1. Here's the next one. That one's well outside for ball 1. Pillar has a nice fastball, but sometimes it gets away from her, as that one did. So here's the 1-1. And Shelton holds off on that one to make it a 2-1 count. Here's the 2-1 pitch from Pillar. Swinging and a miss. And that'll leave the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 down here in the bottom of the 6th for the Rails. Again, Tigers will need at least 2 in the top of the 7th if they want to get to the championship game without playing another game. But if they lose, they would have to play in the elimination bracket against the winner of I Falls and Esco. Currently, looks like Esco may be up 3-0. Wait and see. It could be I Falls, too. I'm not sure who's the home and away there. This one's low for ball 4, so a base runner on here for the Rails, and Tigers. Burke will be up next for the Rails. We'll have a courtesy runner for Shelton. So as we get that figured out, again, kind of explain to you how it goes. The Tigers, if they lose this one, they'll have to play another game in the elimination bracket against the winner of I Falls and Esco. And then if they were to win that game, then they would be in the championship game. If they win this game, then they would be in the championship game no matter what. So still a chance if the Tigers do fall here in this one to get to the championship game. But they would have to beat I Falls or Esco in the game behind us to get back. Again, I cannot tell who's the home or away team there, but it does look like it's a 2-0 lead for one of those teams. First pitch is low for ball 1 to Burke. Runner on first, 2 down for the Rails. Pillar needs to get her team out of this one. Her defense got to help her out as well. That one's going to be low for ball 2. Pillar and company try to get out of the inning without allowing that runner at first to become a threat. Only make it 2 runs that they need in the top of the 7th. And throw down to second is dangerous, and that's why I probably shouldn't have thrown it down to second, as that will advance the runner to third. So Hansen trying to make a play, but a dangerous attempt at it, and it's going to get away, and it will mean that the Rails will have that runner on third. 3-0 for Burke. And Pillar will look for a new ball. And we'll get a visit here in the circle. And while they do that, we'll get a moment to hear word from our fine sponsors here. You're listening to Playoff Softball on WCMP.
Your journey to smile with your forever starts at Embrace Orthodontics. The team at Embrace is committed to providing world-class care and a remarkable orthodontic experience. Choose between custom Light Force braces or Invisalign clear aligners with locations in Pine City, Lindstrom, and Cambridge, and a plan to fit your budget, whether you have insurance or not. Embrace Orthodontics will make your smile journey comfortable, convenient, and customized just for you. Visit EmbraceMN.com today to find out how to set up your free exam. EmbraceMN.com. Embrace Orthodontics, a smile you will embrace forever.
Attention baseball fans.
Well, we'll have to wait to hear the Saints ad again. And Joshua Muron's beautiful voice, because we are back to action. Top of the 7th, 2 down, runner on third, though, for the Rails. 3-0 count for Burke. Pillar with the pitch. That one's in there for strike one. 3-1 count. Now for Burke. Pillar with the 3-1 delivery. That's in there for strike two. And that'll run the count full now for Burke. And as Pillar and company try to get out of the 6th and hold it at 2 runs. Here's the full count pitch. In there for strike 3, and that will be it for the 6th inning. So Pillar gets the strikeout that they needed, and we'll move to the top of the 7th inning. The Tigers will need at least 2, and then to hold the Rails to no runs in the bottom of the 7th. They'll need 3 would be ideal, and then to hold the Rails once again, but that would be a big ask. So the Tigers need at least 2 to continue this game. 3 would give them the lead. Is a 2-0 lead for one of the teams behind us. So the playoff picture is starting to come together. And we'll try and keep you up to date as to who is the team leading behind us again. I'm not sure. It could be possibly Esco. I would assume so, as they are the lower seed and I Falls is the higher seed, so that's what it appears to be. So for the Tigers, they're down to their final 3 outs here. And again, if they lose this game, they'll play another game here right after this one, right after the field is readied, against the winner of I Falls and Esco. So that's what would come up if they lose this game. But if they were to win this game, they would move straight to the championship. So we get ready for the top of the 7th. The Tigers will be led off by Lola Mold. Mold, again, she's got some power behind that swing. I don't know what that is, but maybe it's French. I don't know. Sounds fancy. Either way, it's Lola Mold who has power behind her swing, and they'll need it here. They need to get some runners on and get those runners to score. Again, if they do lose, it's not over. They have another chance to get back to the championship game against this very same team. High for ball 1 to Mold. 1-0 count for Mold. And an interesting game up to this point. Only a 2-0 lead for the Rails. Last time it was really close as well. On it being a 6-2 lead victory. That's how you say it for the Rails. But it was a lot closer than what it looked like on the scoreboard. The Mold will wind up, and this one goes back into the backstop for a foul. 1-1 count for the leadoff batter. In the top of the 7th for the Tigers, Lola Mold. And 3 runs would give them the lead. 2 would extend the game to at least to the bottom of the 7th. This one's inside. Ball 2. 2-1 count for Lola Mold. And here's the pitch. That's high. Now 3-1. Three-one count for Lola Mold, the right fielder. Made a couple of plays backpedaling out there. Big plays, too. And Patterson with the 3-1 pitch. Mold gets a piece of that one. That's going to be a base hit. So Lola Mole will reach, and the tying run is now at the plate in Kaylin Glenna. Glenna is the tying run for the Tigers. So runner at first, nobody out. Glenna to the plate. And it looks like we'll get a new ball in here for Patterson. And the ball probably gets messy pretty quickly. This infield basically all mud at this point. Also, it has rained quite a bit. This one is in there for strike one on the inside part of the plate to Kaylin Glenna. So Esco does lead behind us 2-0 over I Falls. We're going to the bottom of the 7th over there. That one on the ground down the third base line. It's going to be out number 1, but Glenna will advance the runner to second. So one down now for the Tigers, and now to the plate, Summer Nelson. One down, runner on second for the Tigers. Nelson, again, the tying run at the plate. That one's high for ball 1. One-0 count for Nelson. That one swung on and hit right to the first base. And she'll step on the bag for out number 2. 2 down, runner at third now for the Tigers. And it's Addix. Addix, the final out for the Tigers. Again, the tying run. She is at the plate. And that one swung on a miss. A late swing decision by Addix. We'll make it an 0-1 count. Runner at third. And here's the pitch. Addix, a tough swing there, and it's an 0-2. So down to the final strike are the Tigers. Addix trying to extend the game. Here's the pitch. Inside. Ball 1. 1-2 count. Addix, again the tying run. Here's the pitch. And swinging and a miss, and that will end it. So the Tigers will have to play again. And they will play the winner of I Falls and Esco. Esco leading there in the bottom of the 7th, 2-0. So they will await the winner of that game. I believe they'd play on this field, as this seems to be field 1. So we will take a commercial break, and when we come back, maybe we'll see if we know who the Tigers will be playing. But for the Rails, they will move to the championship game. For the Tigers, they do have another chance, but they need to win their next game in order to get there. 2-0, the Tigers fall. Stay tuned. We'll be back with a recap, and then hopefully we'll let you know who they'll be playing after this. You're listening to Playoff Softball on WCMP.
Attention baseball fans! Are you ready to experience the thrill of St. Paul Saints baseball with our weekly live on-air giveaway? That's right! Every Friday is your chance to score big and win tickets to see the Saints live in action at beautiful CHS Field. Imagine the atmosphere, the crack of the bat, the smell of freshly popped popcorn, and the joy of being surrounded by fellow fans. Special thank you to our incredible sponsor, bringing in the heat with Hinckley Firehouse. Listen to WCMP every Friday morning for your chance to win tickets to the St. Paul Saints.
Promoting good health in children is the best way to ensure they'll enjoy good health as adults. Don't skip out on your children's wellness appointments. Call Wellia Health today at 320-679-1313 to set up a Well Child visit. Our friendly family medicine providers love to support young families by helping your children stay healthy, active, and feeling their very best. WelliaHealth.org.
Burnett Dairy Cooperative, real farms, real flavor. Visit us online at burnettdairy.com.
Back here on WCMP 106.5 FM, AM 1350, your Tigers fall to the rails 2-0. And we'll have to play another elimination game against the winner of Esco and I Falls. Currently, Esco leads 2-0 in the bottom of the 7th. Can't tell how many outs there are. It looks like there might be one. So, as of this point, it looks like the Tigers would play Esco in the elimination game for the chance to go to the championship game and once again play the Rails. If that were the case, they would play the Rails for the 3rd time this season. For the Tigers, they fall here 2-0 after allowing 2 runs back in the 4th. And then we got rain delayed, and then we were back to action. And unfortunately, the Tigers just could not get anybody to cross the home plate. They got some runners on, but just couldn't get anybody to cross. So hopefully that'll change here in this next game as they await the winner of I Falls Esco. Currently, it looks like Esco could be the next team that they will play. So for now, we're going to send it back to regularly scheduled programming. Then we'll be back in just a short amount of time after that to prepare for the elimination game between the Tigers and potentially Esco or International Falls. And the winner of that game would go to the Section 7 AA championship game to face off against Proctor. So it looks like it will be Esco. So Esco will be playing Rush City here on this field. And after the field has been worked on and taken care of, and then they will play that game. So stay tuned. We're going to go back to regularly scheduled programming here for just a short amount of time. Then we'll come back on a new link. Again, if you're anybody listening or watching, make sure to tell them, hey, there's going to be a new link that they're going to be playing with, or that the Rush City Tigers are going to be playing with for us. So there will be a new link via the YouTube, again, audio only. But if you're going to be listening to us on the radio anyways, stay tuned. We'll come back, I'm guessing, in about 10-15 minutes as we will have the Tigers taking on the Esco softball team. So that'll do it for Game 1. We'll be back for Game 2 in just a short amount of time. Stay tuned here on WCMP.